So like a week ago, maybe a couple weeks ago at this point, a report came out that Herb Jones was being included in some trade rumors. We don't really know where that came from, right? And then yesterday, a report came out that the Pelicans are open to trading everyone besides Misi, Herb Jones, and Trey Murphy. And a couple weeks ago, I was on the side of why trade Herb Jones? He's the heart and soul of the team. He's a fan favorite. But then you take a step back and realize if it's not going to be a retooling, it's going to be a complete teardown, why keep Herb Jones? Now, initially, my thought was this team has a lot of talent, right? I'm assuming that Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum would be gone, right? But you still have DeJounte Murray, hypothetically, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Misi, Jordan Hawkins, right? You still have a lot of talent on the team to bring in a young star. And Herb Jones is 26 years old, but still, let's say you're ready to win 3 years from now, and Herb Jones is still only 29 years old, ready to win in the prime of his career. But if you're doing a complete teardown, it really makes no sense to have an all-defensive player just sitting on your team providing no real value to a winning situation, where for a lot of teams, Herb Jones is that missing piece. Kind of like Alex Caruso last year, even though I think Herb Jones is better than Caruso, and I'm a big Caruso guy, by the way, but I think Herb Jones is better. But them trading for Josh Giddey, a lot of people didn't like that deal. I like it because if you as an organization really like Josh Giddey, if you were, during your draft analysis thought he had star potential, and all you have to do was give up a older all-world defender on a bad team that's not signed long-term to get a shot at a Josh Giddey who you really believe in, I think that's actually very smart. A lot of people were upset the Bulls didn't get draft picks because it was OKC and they know OKC has a ton of picks. But if you really think Josh Giddey is going to be good, to me, that's smart. Now, the Bulls also have a situation where they got Zach LaVine, they got Kobe White, they got IL, they got Lonzo Ball. So Josh Giddey was never going to, fully blossom with the Bulls with the current situation. But if they trade Zach LaVine, if they trade Lonzo Ball, maybe Josh Giddey can really flourish and be a near star level player, and that deal won't look as bad. This is not a Josh Giddey video, not a Bulls video, but you guys get the idea of what I'm saying. If you're the Pelicans and you're going to be this middling team and you could trade for someone you believe has star potential for Herb Jones, who you know is going to be very good, is going to be a very good player on a very good team, right? But as far as him being a star level player, as far as him uplifting a bad team, you know that's not going to be Herb Jones. And you could move him for someone you really believe has that potential. Why would you not do it right now? Or again, if you could move Herb Jones for a decent role player and 2 first-round picks, why not do it? That one I'm a little bit more iffy on, right? But if you got a guy in mind that you really believe in, that you feel like could be your point guard of the next 10 years, and all you got to do is give up Herb Jones, I would do that. Again, on this current situation, if we're competing for a title, all that, Herb Jones is one of the more valuable players in the NBA. But on a 5-22 team, that's not going to be much better. They're going to be a lot better next year than 5-22, but not going to be a championship caliber team next year. Herb Jones, his value is not that much to you. So I really thought about what team has a young asset the Pelicans might be able to convince themselves is a starter on their team for the next 10 years and currently has value low enough that you might be able to get him for Herb Jones. And I'm only doing this because I do actually believe it's realistic. I think by the time we get to the deadline, the Pelicans are going to look at it and say, yeah, Herb Jones is a fan favorite, heart and soul of the team, but what are we actually doing with Herb Jones? So first of all, I know I always talk about this team, but the Golden State Warriors just made a move. They went and acquired Dennis Schroeder, pretty much saying that Brandon Podziemski has not been the player they thought he would be. He is having a terrible year, shooting 37% from the field, 25% from 3. But if you're the Pelicans and you've seen what he did last year and he's only 21 years old, if the Warriors offer you Podziemski, you have to put like GP2 for the salary to match and a first-round pick. Do you consider something like that? That sounds crazy. Trust me, Herb Jones is my guy. You're probably watching a video right now that has a bunch of Herb Jones clips that I put together for videos about Herb Jones. Herb Jones is my guy. But again, in the Pelican situation, if you could take a flyer on a 21-year-old who showed a lot of promise in his rookie year and get a first-round pick for Herb Jones, I think that is the type of move that the Pelicans should be considering. Again, this is assuming the Pelicans are trying to blow it up. DeJounte gone, CJ gone, BI gone. They're trying to blow it up. So take a flyer on a 21-year-old that showed a lot of promise in his rookie year. And on the other side, if you're the Warriors and you compare Herb Jones with Wiggins and Draymond defensively, That's crazy. And you still got Kuminga and you still got Moody. That, to me, that's a no-brainer for the Warriors if they're trying to win right now. You give up GP2, but you're getting one of the only players in the NBA that's actually better than GP2 on defense in Herb Jones. You're giving up Podziemski, but you already replaced Podziemski and Schroeder. If Podziemski blossoms in New Orleans, you might look back and feel dumb, but you're not going to feel dumb for giving Steph Curry a real chance at getting number 5, and I think Herb Jones is that good. Draymond, Wiggins, Herb Jones, Kevon Looney, you still got slow-mo, like that defense would be crazy, Schroeder, right? I think that's an interesting trade for both teams. And now that I'm really thinking about it, there is no way the Warriors would include a first-round pick with Podziemski. Like, they viewed this guy so highly that I don't think their pride would allow them to put a first-round pick on Podziemski. So maybe you don't get a first-round pick, but the more I think about it, this is really the Josh Giddey situation where if OKC traded Josh Giddey after year 1, they would have got a lot more than Alex Caruso. And if Golden State traded Podziemski after year 1, they might have been able to get Lauri Markkanen. Now, we don't know what was really true there, but who knows, right? And a couple more reasons why this deal would make sense for both sides. If you're the Warriors, and for whatever reason you do want to move on from Wiggins, and you've been worried about your perimeter defense if you get rid of Wiggins, well, now you have Herb Jones there, hypothetically. Not saying they would ever do that, but now, you know. And on the same token, now you have Herb Jones signed for 3 more years at $13 million. That is an amazing contract to have for your team or to be part of another bigger deal. Just putting that out there. For the Pelicans, this is kind of a reach, right? But Podziemski played on the Team USA select team this summer. You know who else played on that team? Cooper Flagg. And you know who Cooper Flagg said was his favorite guy to play with on that team? Brandon Podziemski.
It's a great experience.
Who was your favorite player to play with?
I'll probably say like Brandon. I'm gonna say like Brandon Podziemski from the Warriors, just because he plays at such a good pace and just plays the right way.
That's just a reach. That probably doesn't mean anything. But if you get the number 1 pick, you draft Cooper Flagg, you bring him in to play with a guy he's already familiar with, a guy he's comfortable with, a guy he seems to have a relationship with in Brandon Podziemski. Just saying that's an additive. That's not really a big deal, but something to keep in the back of your mind. So I know it's not too realistic. Like, Herb Jones getting traded is realistic to me because all the reasons I went through. It really makes no sense to have Herb Jones on a team that's not trying to compete. I'm just not sure how realistic the Warriors side is. I think they would want to sell much higher on a Podziemski. I think both fan bases are going to be upset in the comments, which might mean it's a good trade. Who knows, right? Also, I want to make another video probably tomorrow on Zion Williamson being available for trade. The list of teams that would want to trade for Zion is very small, so we're going to go through that tomorrow. But really, Pelicans fans, let me know in the comments down below because you guys are the ones that are really tapped in with Herb Jones. You guys know how good Herb Jones is. Would you even entertain trading Herb Jones? Does it make sense to keep Herb Jones? Let me know all that down in the comments below. How do you feel about Zion maybe being available? All that in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please drop a like, please comment, please subscribe. I'm out. Peace.